you?
I am the spirit of Hearth-swarming yet to come.
Are you here to show me what future Hearth-swarming Eves are like?
No, for there are no more Hearth-swarming Eves for me to show.
Why not?
You will succeed in erasing the holiday, as you wished.
And what happens?
Oh, well, everyone just goes about their normal workday. What do you think happened?
Ponies' voices fill the night. Hearth-swarming Eve is here once again.
Hey, every pony, welcome back to Pony Talk. And happy Hearth-swarming! Yes, 'tis the season once again! We're still decorating around here, and unfortunately Twilight turned down my idea of having a tree in the background, because you can't have a tree in the middle of the hallway. Pfft, whatever. Anyway, I love this time of year, and I really wanted to do a video talking about all the traditions, and the present givings, and all the joyful feelings, and lights, and everything good and happy associated with hearthwarming. But as I thought more on the holiday, I was focusing less on the traditions and more on the lore. 'Cause the lore of hearthwarming is kinda dark when you think about it. Well, I don't have time to go through all the specifics of it, so let's just get a basic rundown.
Earth ponies, Pegasi, and unicorns sing songs around a hearth to fight back an eternal winter caused by the mythical Wendigos. Every foal in Philly knows that story.
Yes, thank you, Starlight. So yeah, that's kind of a really harsh story to build a season of joy and friendship around, isn't it? But what struck me the most is that's all it is. A story. Think about it. Unlike everything else in Equestria, we've never really seen a flashback to the first Hearthswarming. The first time we were presented it was in the form of a play, and then Applejack recounting it to Applebloom in the form of a cookie play, and then Starlight's condensed summary there. Even Twilight's favorite story is just that, a story. And isn't it a little funny that in all these in-canon stories, that's the only time Wendigos are ever mentioned? Yeah, every other time we get a villain backstory, it's because that villain has returned in the modern day to wreak havoc. But not the Wendigos. I mean, sure, there was that little moment that maybe hinted at them being there at the end of the Hearthswarming play, but that could still just be a tease for the audience. One of those, better learn your lesson jokes, ha ha ha. But have we actually seen any evidence so far in the show that Wendigos really do exist? Well, no. But we have seen something very similar to them. Take a look at these designs. Really look at them. The elongated muzzles, the longer than usual bodies, only having hooves up front. Where have we seen this kind of design before? Yeah, the sirens. And bonus, there's 3 Wendigos and 3 sirens. Now, I'm not saying the Wendigos are specifically these 3, but maybe like Seekers, sirens travel in packs of 3. I mean, their MOs are surprisingly similar. They go around and spread anger and mistrust and feed upon those emotions. And when the Wendigos do make their appearance in the Hearthswarming play, who was it that Smart Cookie said informed her of them?
My mentor, Star Swirl the Bearded, taught me about them.
Really? And remind me again, who was it that got rid of the Dazzlings?
A certain Star Swirl the Bearded wasn't having it.
Yeah, Star Swirl the Bearded. Funny how he keeps popping up in these things, isn't it? Also interesting of note that he was there before Equestria was founded, and still ended up being Celestia and Luna's mentor. How old was this guy? But that's something to speculate about on another day. Right now, let's focus on the idea that he may have been the one that started Hearthswarming. What? You don't think that's possible? Well, let's take into account what we do know of Star Swirl right now. In addition to being an incredibly powerful unicorn, he was also a scholar. The amount of spells he wrote fills an entire wing of the Canterlot Library. And given that this had to be over 1,000 years ago, since it was before Equestria was even founded, it's a good bet to assume he was one of the few who actually knew how to read and write. And who knows how long after the founding of Equestria he actually wrote down the events that would eventually be turned into the Hearthswarming play. Think about the real world and how many stories get changed after only a few years of the event happening. And that's in an age where we have an overabundance of technology and communication. Now take it back to a time when only a few could do that, and yeah, it starts to get a little suspect, doesn't it? But the big question is why? Why would he make up these mythical Wendigos when sirens are a very real threat? Well, I think that's because sirens are real. Let's say that the first three that attacked that led to the creation of Equestria were different sirens, and then the Dazzlings attacked and he banished them. That's 2 times that a group of sirens would have laid waste to ponydom. Now, given that, you'd think Starsword would want every pony to know that sirens are real so they could defend themselves against them. But let's be honest, ponies are kind of jittery and scared, and the knowledge that an unknown enemy could come back at any time and cause them to fight and destroy them would cause, well, yeah, that. But something that's a legend that may or may not be real, well, that's easier to deal with. Especially when the solution is, hey, just be nice to each other for 1 day and we'll be fine. I mean, if sirens and wendigos do feed off negative emotions, then maybe an outpouring of positive emotions will just throw them away because it's too much for them to handle. Exactly what happened in the story of the first Hearth swarming, which is kind of similar to what happened at the end of Rainbow Rocks. But if that is what could defeat sirens, then why did Starsworld banish the Dazzlings to the other world? Well, that could be simple. Maybe he just didn't write the story of Hearth swarming yet. Maybe after that second attack, he wrote the story and got it to the public so that they could all work together again, maybe just 1 day, and keep sirens at bay. I mean, why else would a holiday specifically designed to be about loving, care, and joy have such a really dark undertone? I mean, even in Christmas traditions, if you're bad, you either get a lump of coal, or in some areas, Krampus comes and takes the bad children away. Even in the Krampus movie, it was only about 1 area that didn't believe that he would come and, well, destroy. But let's go back and revisit a hearth-swarming tale. When Snowfall Frost is brought before the spirit of hearth-swarming future, that place is a desolate, cold wasteland. There is nothing there. The spirit herself even says so in her admittedly awesome song. Yeah, a much harsher punishment than the obvious parallel this is going for, Ebenezer Scrooge in A Christmas Carol. Yeah, if Scrooge didn't get to the Christmas spirit, the worst thing that happened is he died alone and forgotten, and while that's terrible, it's not bad for the world at large. But in a hearth-swarming tale, if Snowfall had succeeded, the world was going to come to an end. Yeah, granted, she was trying to get rid of the holiday altogether, but really, without that 1 day, there's no future for Equestria? So again, I gotta call that just a bit extreme. Unless the underlining theme of hearth-swarming in general is to fight against an enemy that could wreak havoc on Equestria. Maybe that recharge of just overly positive emotions, even just 1 day, is what helps keep sirens from moving back in. And without being overly explicit about it, the populace doesn't worry and instead just takes in the spirit of the holiday. They are fighting against an enemy without even knowing about it. And that's pretty ingenious, actually. Deceptive, yes, but pretty genius. Boy, for a character we still haven't seen in the show, Starsworld is pretty complicated, isn't he? But of course, that's if all this is true, instead of me just making stuff up and reading too much into things. But either way, let's do all our parts to keep the Wendigos or the Sirens away and just be happy with each other right now. Spread some joy, drink some eggnog, give some gifts, get into the holiday hearth-warming spirit. And speaking of, I actually have some shopping I still need to get done. So I'll see you guys later for more pony talk. And happy hearth-warming. Okay, let's see here. Mooney, what should I get? I don't know what annoys me more, the fact that these exist, or the fact that they're out of date. Either way, I feel I really should have approval over these things.
Hearth's warming eve is filled with presents, some take you by surprise. A story shared by your good friends that makes your spirit
reason is to be with your friends.